Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sentai22 here. How you guys all doing? This will be my first ever Sentai22News vlog where I talk about topics that's going on around the world as well as politics and all that stuff. So if you guys are not interested in that, I suggest you go to my old channel and watch some of my old vlogs as well as my reviews. So let's get started now, shall we? Today we're going to talk about the what happened with this homeless woman by the name of Anna Brown. She was denied care from St. Louis Hospital. She had pain in her ankle and they pretty much refused treatment. So the St. Louis Hospital called the police because they probably thought that, you know, she was homeless. They thought that she was a drug and she wanted drugs and a place to stay. So they called them and pretty much sent her to jail. She couldn't move because she was feeling pain in her ankles. She was pretty much dragged. Well, she wasn't dragged. She was carried to a jail cell and pretty much put her in the floor. They didn't put her in the bed. There was a bed in the jail cell, but they didn't put her there. They just put her in the floor and pretty much left there to die. If you want to see the security video, it's in the link in the description below. Turns out that she had a blood clot in her legs that migrated into her lungs, which unfortunately killed her. Even though the doctors at the hospital say, oh, she's fine, she just wanted drugs, you know, and that's pretty much what happened. Now, for those of you out there who are saying, oh, she was probably doing drugs, she was a homeless person. Why do people persist that if you see a homeless person, you think of it as, oh, that guy's just doing drugs? It's like, really? You don't think of maybe, just maybe, the person lost their job, or, you know, was down on their luck. In this case, with Anna Brown, she didn't do drugs. She didn't booze it up. She didn't abuse anyone. She didn't abuse her kids. She had everything going for herself, okay? She had a house. She had a job. Unfortunately, a lot of tragic events pretty much destroyed her life pretty much. A tornado destroyed her house. She lost everything in there. She lost her job. Her kids were taken away because she didn't have enough money to pay the utilities for running water or heat, okay? What's even worse is that Child Protective Services wouldn't even allow her to live with her own mother. So it was either give up your grandkids to the foster care or bring your daughter home. Unfortunately, she picked the grandkids and she was left to defend on her own. And pretty much that's how she died, because the system failed her. The system just failed her, unfortunately. And it's no surprising either, because there was an elderly woman who was denied any help whatsoever in this waiting room at the hospital here in New York City. She was waiting and waiting, and then she pretty much fell in the floor, and nobody noticed that she died. People like were walking by and seeing a person laying down on the floor. I mean, what's wrong with this country? We give out billions and billions of dollars to corporations and big banks and give it to our politicians who pretty much don't do anything in Congress. They pretty much bitch and complain about everything. But we cannot give a person the basic necessities. And I know what you're saying, okay? I know what a lot of people are saying. Maybe she didn't take care of herself. Maybe you're right, maybe we're wrong. But it doesn't matter, okay? It's a person's life, okay? Now, I know a lot of people say it's not even important to me. I don't really care. But the thing is, no one is asked. Most people, look, I agree that most people cannot take care of themselves because they eat junk food and all that stuff, okay? I understand that. But for certain people who live below the poverty line, who has cancer or there's certain illness, they're not asked to have cancer. They're not asked to have this certain illness, okay? I want them to get the same level of treatment as anyone who makes a lot of money. I want that to be everyone. That's all I have to say on this issue. If you guys want, you can post your comments on what you think. If you want to see the article, it's in the description below.